Warning, viewer discretion advised. This video contains content that may be disturbing or triggering to some viewers. It includes detailed descriptions of violent crimes, graphic imagery, and discussions of sensitive topics such as murder, assault, and other criminal activities. Viewer discretion is strongly advised. If you are sensitive to such content, please consider watching another video. Stay safe and take care of your mental health. Welcome to 22, where we dive deep into some of the most compelling true crime stories from around the world, and today we have an extraordinary story of resilience and survival. In this gripping episode, we delve into the harrowing true story of Natascha Kampusch, who was abducted at the age of 10 and held captive for over 8 years by Wolfgang Priklopil. On March 2, 1998, Natascha was kidnapped while walking to school in Vienna, Austria, and was forced into a secret, underground cell in Priklopil's house. Despite enduring unimaginable physical and psychological abuse, Natascha's resilience and determination never wavered. On August 23, 2006, she made a daring escape that shocked the world. Join us as we explore the details of her captivity, her remarkable escape, and the profound impact of her story. From abduction to freedom, the unbreakable spirit of Natascha Kampusch. Natascha Kampusch was born on February 17, 1988, in Vienna, Austria. She was the youngest of 3 daughters in a working-class family. Growing up in a tumultuous household, Natascha's early years were marked by the challenges of her parents' separation and subsequent divorce. Despite these difficulties, she was a bright and curious child, known for her intelligence and independence. Wolfgang Priklopil, born on May 14, 1962, was an Austrian communications technician. Living a seemingly quiet and unassuming life, Priklopil harbored dark and sinister intentions. He meticulously planned the abduction of Natascha Kampusch, constructing a secret cellar beneath his house where he intended to hold his victim. Priklopil's background reveals a man who was reclusive and meticulous, with a deep-seated desire for control and dominance. On the morning of March 2, 1998, 10-year-old Natascha Kampusch left her home in Vienna, Austria, for school. It was a day like any other, but as she walked the familiar route, her life would change forever. As she passed a white van, Wolfgang Priklopil, the driver, suddenly grabbed her and forced her into the vehicle. The abduction was swift and meticulously planned. Priklopil had been watching Natascha for some time, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Natascha's disappearance triggered a massive police investigation. Her parents reported her missing, and a search was launched immediately. The media quickly picked up the story, and soon, Natascha's face was on television screens and posters across Austria. Despite extensive searches and public appeals, the investigation struggled with few leads. The white van had been a fleeting clue, but it was not enough to trace Priklopil or discover the hidden prison he had constructed in his house. The public and authorities were desperate for answers, but Natascha seemed to have vanished without a trace. After her abduction, Natascha Kampusch was taken to Wolfgang Priklopil's house in Strasshof, a quiet suburb of Vienna. There, she was forced into a concealed, windowless cellar beneath the garage. This cramped, soundproof space measured just 5 square meters and became her prison for the next 8 years. Priklopil controlled every aspect of her life, providing limited food and keeping her isolated from the outside world. The room was furnished with basic amenities: a bed, a toilet, and a small sink. But it was cold and dark, reinforcing her sense of entrapment and despair. Priklopil exercised strict control over Natascha through a combination of physical and psychological abuse. He would regularly threaten her with death if she attempted to escape, creating a pervasive atmosphere of fear. Priklopil also manipulated her by alternating between moments of kindness and cruelty, which caused her to develop a complex psychological dependency known as Stockholm Syndrome. He limited her interactions to only himself, which intensified her isolation. Over time, he allowed her more freedoms within the house, but always under his watchful eye, reinforcing his dominance and control. Despite the overwhelming adversity, Natascha showed remarkable resilience. She used her intellect and inner strength to cope with the isolation and control exerted by Priklopil. Natascha maintained a strict daily routine, which included exercise and self-education, using books and a small television that Priklopil provided. This routine helped her retain a sense of normalcy and mental discipline. Natascha also cultivated a rich inner life, using her imagination and memories of her family to sustain her hope and determination. Her resilience was a testament to her unbreakable spirit and played a crucial role in her eventual escape. Over the years, Natascha Kampusch's determination to escape never waned. She meticulously observed Wolfgang Priklopil's routines, looking for any opportunity to break free. Her growing knowledge of his behavior and the layout of the house fueled her hope and strategic thinking. Natascha knew that patience and careful planning were crucial. As Priklopil began to trust her more, allowing her to perform tasks outside her cell, she began to plot her escape more concretely, waiting for the perfect moment when his guard would be down. On August 23, 2006, Natascha found the opportunity she had been waiting for. That morning started like any other, but there was a significant change in routine. Priklopil had tasked her with cleaning his car in the garden. Seizing the moment, Natascha fled while Priklopil was distracted by a phone call. She ran through the neighborhood, frantically looking for help. Finally, she encountered a woman who called the police, initiating the end of her 8-year captivity. Meanwhile, realizing Natascha had escaped, Priklopil panicked and fled. He contacted an acquaintance, claiming he was in trouble, but did not reveal the nature of his distress. As police began to close in, Priklopil took his own life by jumping in front of a train, leaving behind many unanswered questions about his motives and the extent of his plans. Natascha's escape was a moment of immense bravery and quick thinking. Her immediate actions upon gaining freedom ensured her safety and led to her abductor's exposure. The media and public were stunned as the details of her captivity emerged, and Natascha's story quickly became international news. Her resilience and courage during those crucial moments highlighted her strength and determination to reclaim her life. Following her escape, Natascha Kampusch was immediately taken into police protection. Authorities were quick to verify her identity and the harrowing details of her captivity began to emerge. The news of her survival and the revelation of her 8-year ordeal captivated the world, sparking widespread media coverage and public interest. Wolfgang Priklopil's suicide on the same day added a tragic and dramatic end to the immediate narrative of her escape. Natascha's return to society was challenging. She faced immense public scrutiny and media attention, which often intruded on her privacy. Despite these challenges, Natascha showed remarkable strength and determination to rebuild her life. She received extensive psychological support to help her cope with the trauma she had endured and to adjust to a world that had drastically changed during her years in captivity. Over time, Natascha began to share her story with the world, publishing a memoir titled 3096 Days in 2010. In it, she detailed her experiences and the psychological complexities of her captivity and escape. Her story provided valuable insights into the long-term effects of abduction and the strength of the human spirit. The public reaction to Natascha's story was a mixture of empathy, fascination, and sometimes intrusive curiosity. The media's relentless pursuit of her story often crossed ethical boundaries, causing further distress to Natascha. Despite this, her story raised important discussions about victim support, media responsibility, and the psychological impacts of prolonged captivity. Natascha Kampusch's case had a lasting impact on both societal awareness and law enforcement practices. Her resilience and ability to reclaim her life became a powerful symbol of survival and hope. The case also led to increased awareness about the psychological impacts of kidnapping and the need for better support systems for victims of such crimes. Natascha has since become an advocate for victims' rights, using her platform to speak out on issues related to abduction and abuse. Her story continues to inspire and educate, highlighting the importance of resilience and the human capacity to overcome even the most harrowing circumstances. The story of Natascha Kampusch is a profound testament to the strength and resilience of the human spirit. Despite enduring unimaginable physical and psychological abuse, Natascha's determination and will to survive never wavered. Her ability to plan and execute her escape demonstrates the incredible power of hope and strategic thinking in the face of adversity. This case also highlights the importance of awareness and vigilance in missing person cases, as well as the need for comprehensive support systems for survivors of such traumatic experiences. Natascha's ordeal and eventual escape shed light on the psychological complexities of long-term captivity, including the development of Stockholm Syndrome. Her story has contributed to a deeper understanding of how victims can psychologically adapt to survive extreme conditions and the challenges they face upon reintegration into society. This case has also underscored the critical role of law enforcement and community support in responding to abductions and supporting victims in their recovery. Thank you for joining us on this episode of 22 as we explored the extraordinary story of Natascha Kampusch. Her journey from abduction to freedom is a powerful reminder of the resilience of the human spirit and the enduring impact of hope and courage. We hope that by sharing her story, we can raise awareness about the complexities of such cases and the importance of supporting survivors in their. If you found this episode engaging, please subscribe to 22 and leave us a review. Follow us on social media for updates and additional content. Your support helps us continue to bring you these powerful stories. Thank you for listening, and we look forward to having you join us again soon.